Okay, so back when I lived in Michigan, shortly before we moved out west, I was called to be the facilitator in my Stakes ARP group. ARP, the Addiction Recovery Program, was the LDS Church's version of the 12-step program, because certainly we can't have Mormons going to somebody secular and perhaps being led off the path. We had to have the priesthood presiding over things to make sure that it stayed within the lines and was loyal to the Mormon Church. Honestly, the two reasons I accepted the calling were that I really respected and loved the stake president, Bruce Dale. He's one of the only people I still respect and love who ever served as a church leader to me. The second reason was that there was a larger recovery group movement within my state back in Michigan, and the person who was spearheading it was the daughter of a former stake president who had presided over me in my teenage years, and we were friends, and she was nagging me. She thought it would be good for me and help me to recover further from all the abuse from Wes Goodwin. So I took it. I felt like I didn't belong there. I felt like there wasn't much I could add. I mean, I shared what I knew, and I guess at that time I would have been considered church broke or church loyal, but I still felt kind of like the whole thing was just a weird experience. And I guess my most memorable experience was one of great cognitive dissonance. So during the same time I was serving in the stake group once a week, I was also attending the temple. And I was at the Detroit, Michigan temple one night. And when you go to the veil, after you do all the ceremonies and the endowment, you have to cross through a veil to get into the celestial room. And the worker put their hand through the veil, and you can't see their face. All you see is this man's hand. And I heard a voice in my head, which at the time I believed was the voice of the Holy Ghost. And the voice in my head said, "The person on the other side of the veil who is taking your hand is unworthy to be here." Now, if I ever dared to tell any Mormon male leader that revelation, they would have told me I was wrong. And so I was like, okay. So I did the little thing at the veil, and I got pulled through, and I recognized the man on the other side of the veil. And I was shocked. Fast forward to me sitting in this group one night, and we're sitting there yawning away, and about 40 minutes into the meeting, a woman comes into the room. She never said a word, but she didn't have to. I knew why she was there. She was an abused wife and was there for help. I talked about escaping abusive marriages that night. She never did come back, but now you know the rest of the story.